Uh-oh. Did this, I think this went to sleep. Yeah? Well, we're going to wait a moment. Let me tell you a little bit about what I'm going to show you. We've been very proud of the fact. I'm going to need Jenny to come on up and type in your password, please. This is called not thinking through the presenter's experience. This is Jenny Folks. Hand for Jenny. The fact that it's her password is your cue that really I'm just doing the talking, but she did a bunch of the work on this presentation. So she gets a lot of the credit. We use a tool, we use high-fidelity prototypes in our UI design to go and test our software and experiment with our UI ideas. We believe, frankly, that Avalon as a platform for building UI is going to be so flexible over time that we're going to be able to do our prototyping right there. This happens to be a prototype that's built in Director, which is a fantastic tool that our product designers use to go and mock up what the interaction, the experience is going to be. I want to walk you through it, and I want to call out some points that we already made and show you how we're thinking about this in the Windows shell, which is basically what a chunk of us here in the room do and what I spend my time on. This prototype it's already got a few months behind it, but it also is, but it should have some good examples here. So let's walk through. So sure, we got the start menu. Oh, I used the mouse. There we go. Whoa. Okay. Mouse is a little jumpy. There we go. All right. So a couple of things. First, I want you to notice what this is right here. And I don't call this out. This is not a demonstration of the important features of Windows. That's not the point of this. The point is for me to walk you through some of the UI decisions we made and show you how we made them and show you how we took the principles that we talked about before and applied them. So this is an example of building a playback part right there in the sidebar. And anybody could go build one of these. But the interesting thing about it is, I want you to notice what happens as I hover over. You get this visualization of the audio coming out of your system when I'm not hovering over, but when I hover, all of a sudden the controls and the text are there. Reducing the clutter on the screen, taking things away until the user is right there is actually a very powerful thing. It's one way, one technique that we use to go make things simple and powerful. Simple is, hey, not a lot of stuff going on. Powerful is, when I'm there, hey, everything's there. And it's just a tiny little example, but I show it to you to illustrate the kind of things we were talking about. All right, so now let's dive into to storage here. So here we are in this sort of root storage place. Notice, by the way, again, a simple little thing about thinking about how users think about the software in front of them in their environment. This window is maximized. You may have seen some of the transparency effects that are currently in the current iteration of the look and feel. Watch what happens when I restore this window. Then it gets transparent. The theory is that when you maximize, what's your goal? Your goal is to get rid of all distractions. So why would you want to see anything behind the window you're looking at? And again, it's a small detail, but it is these small details, when you think about those principles, that add up to making it, a positive user experience. So let's dive into documents here. Oh, sorry, I have to restore. There we go. Dive into documents. Another couple of things I want to show you. As I walk through this, I want you to notice there's some degree of consistency as we move around here as well. The fact that I get this rich preview area no matter where I go. So now I dive into this document stack. I get this whole list of items. It's actually funny that we get criticized, just to show you a little wart, why is the number of items so large? Is anyone really dying to know how many there are? And it's a good point. And in some ways we think, wow, when you're managing tens of thousands and you want to know whether you have a result set that is actually reasonable for you to look through, maybe it is important. But today, maybe it isn't. So this is, again, one of those things where do we have a clear, exact answer on what the right thing to do is here? No. No, we don't know yet how big to make that information, how prominent to make it on the user's landscape. But we're going to test. And in fact, the funny thing is that users' interaction, when we get this right in Longhorn together, and users are managing not 1,000 items on their PC and with your software, not 10,000, but hundreds of thousands of pieces of information, this may be critical. And so, in fact, the users' expectations and their goals may really change over time. That's really a hard puzzle to figure out when you're trying to ship software. How do you have the solver evolve over time there, but these are the things we have to consider in making these trade-offs.